Good news! So, turns out my problem was in fact a massive user error. So at some point, I turned off my HUD. For anybody who has a similar issue, which you may or may not, inside your settings, you have a HUD, hidden and invisible. I had mine hidden. For some reason, don't know how, don't know why. So when I try to press anything, like I press the Q menu now, I get my mouse pointer and I get no menu. Why that's hidden, I don't know. One of those things gives me the mouse, it is what it is. If I put it back to visible and go in, resume, we will see, I press the Q, I get everything come back. And that's what I wanted to talk to you today, was about new things that hopefully we've all got or we're all getting, and that is what's going to be in front of us. So, I don't know if these things are just in the beta, or if they're out on the full game now, but as you see, we've got concrete ramps. Now the concrete ramps are built in twos, and it's easy if I show you this here, that you'll see. So, we have a triangle bit, a short little wedge, and we have a block piece that's got a square front that the wedge backs onto. There is just one issue with these, and that it is the height of this is obviously about half a block high, so we don't actually have a piece that's half a block high. So this is the ramp piece. As you see, this is about half, but if I wanted to build anything like in front of this and up, you can't. So we've got a block here, and this is obviously where the block goes. So you can't build above this because it's part of the same square. Like each build bit seems to be part of the build grid, so obviously you can't go above it because that is already in that grid. That's why we've got these pieces that go into the next grid slot, so we can put the ramp in front of the little one, a bada bing, bada boom. And then all you got to do is just put a block down and put your ramp piece down, and away you go. Now I have found that then I can remove these, and as you'll see, once this is gone, this block now stays in place. So you can't easily line it up by floating it, but if you've got a good eye and you're good with it, you know, you can. Whoop. But for those who aren't so great, use that block. That block will help you kind of position everything right, and then you can build on top of it. But you'll see there, that's the gap that we're talking about. It's a half block, whatever kind of gap. So it makes things a little bit tricky in terms of if you're trying to build anything. You can't build anything in this space, or at least I haven't found a way to. Not even a floor. So if I get a wooden floor, we can line it up with that block, because it's like the top of this square. But the next one it lines up to is there. So you see the problem? Anything that you build, you're potentially going to have to do freehand. So you can line it up and put it in, which can be a little bit tricky, but it is doable. But that's kind of where you're at right now because of the general snap, the way that everything snaps together. Like, it's not impossible to do it, but it's just a little bit, for me, I'm a little bit clunky with it. But yeah, we've got ramps coming, and obviously ramps let us do some cool stuff. For me, I've set up a little bit of a station over here that then will let me ramp my way up. So we can build little platforms with our little ramps, ramp ourselves up, get to where we need to do, chug along and offload it. Beautiful. Most of this was built kind of freehand, eyeballing it. I had to eyeball the ramp pieces to the floor pieces, so it was a little bit tricky. I had to put the floor down first off of a block, and then I eyeballed the ramp pieces, which was kind of screwy. As you can see, they're not perfectly lined up. And then I had to try and eyeball the hopper next to the tile pieces, but yeah, it's somewhat okay. But yes, ramps, they're a new thing.